Hi everyone, welcome back to another deep dive episode, but this is the big one. We are in Div 1 and today I am joined by our two secret guests, which is Zakke and Roran. Zakke, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are
That's
you?
that's good. Yeah, no, I'm really good. And Roran, how are you?
I have a bit of a cough going, but I'll try to mute myself when I'm coughing,
A bit
hopefully.
of a cough. That's very dangerous in these times. This is not
I'm
good.
sure it's fine, mate.
Yeah. Okay, by now, hopefully you've been tracking with us through the divisions. We have made it all the way from Div 5 all the way to Div 1, and this is actually play day today. It's not the day of recording, but it will be Sunday when it is released, and it's Big Bad Play Day. So we're going to go through our own rankings, and we're going to talk about why. There's a lot of things to talk about in this division because there's a lot of extremely good and well-known players. We're going to talk about undervalued, overvalued, which I think will actually be a really interesting discussion in this division. Top performer, we're each going to choose one, and then we're going to talk about overall team value. And at the end, I've got this fun. We're going to try and match the um, the statement to the captain, and we will have some fun with that when we get to it at the end. Okay, Roran, would you like to lead us off with? Would you like to start at the top or the bottom?
I would rather start on the bottom
You'd rather
because,
start in the bottom. Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Okay, well,
hmm
I haven't started on the bottom yet. I've only started on the top. So okay, but yes, let's do it. Let's start at the
I can
bottom.
switch it for you if you want.
Um, it's up to you.
Okay, I'll start on the bottom since you
Okay.
gave me the option.
Yes, I did.
I think it's an easy last place choice for me. I'll just put, I just copied from there, I guess. Yuma as the bottom place.
Interesting.
Oh,
Do you want to say why?
Uh, First of all, he wasted all of his coins to draft his friend,
Mm-hmm.
and the last three picks were basically randoms.
Yeah.
And when he was drafting by mistake, he chose Polar Bear,
Mm-hmm.
and then he ended up contacting admins saying he chose Polar Bear by mistake, which I don't know how he can manage. We ended up kicking Polar Bear, and we got Black Breeder instead of him, or Kyle Limo. I'm not sure which one, but we got one of them instead. And then I kind of got put in last second as well.
Yeah.
So first of all, his draft was clusterfuck, and after all, sure, you might have a bad day or it's draft day. You want your friend, which is not great, but sure, I let that go. He contacts me like 2 days later, asks me when I want to scream or when I can't scream. I write him back, ask him some questions like what's going on, what's the plan. I don't get anything back, and we still don't have a Discord server till this day. And I'll probably make one today because Kimmer asked me to. But yeah,
Mm.
that's my opinion so far. Like, I'm not putting us bottom because we have the worst players, but I think we are not taking it serious at all at this stage. So we're probably gonna just lose.
Mm. And I think that with looking at this division, people are going to take it seriously because there's a lot of players that are really good here that want to prove themselves
Yeah,
and who want to do really well at a really high level. Like RD2L in the main season, you're kind of carrying your lower K players. That's me. But in this division, you're not. This division is really how good are you as a player at your rank and at your MMR.
yeah. I think it's not exactly about the MMR at this point. This is about if teams can play together, they're probably gonna beat the team with a high MMR player,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably what's gonna happen to us.
Yeah, and it's really going to cut. I think like this is the division where drafting will matter a lot. Like people will pick comfort picks, but down where I'm playing in Div 5, it's going to be way more important about the comfort picks rather than up here. I think because people will be able to play a lot of the heroes to a really good level. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you put that team there, but I'll speak about that in a minute. Zaki, what about you? What did you have for last? If you had a
um,
last, I mean, you can start at the top. I really don't mind if you could just.
well, I'm pretty sure who I want for last. I want to start there too. No, I don't think. Well, I picked 7 for last place. I don't think Thunderdine is the biggest mistake ever, but I think the rest of his team also looks really weak.
Okay.
And reading around, I'm a bit scared how it's gonna go with play on their team.
Mhm. What does play again?
um, not
I'll
sure.
double check. I was actually in the middle of writing this out. Well, it doesn't. Ah, here we go. He seems to play. I think is he not mid? I might be wrong. Well, on his dual buff, he seems to play a bit of everything. Mainly mid-ish type of heroes. But yeah, I think what you're saying there is probably one of the problems with that draft, is that it's a bit all over the place. So you're putting 7 even last. I call him 7 even though his name's just 7 with a 7 at the start. I've been calling him 7 even this entire time. That's fun. You can put it in yourself if you like. I think this team is suffering from a few things. I think was Thunderdine the first nominated player? I think he was, or definitely one of the first few who was nominated in the draft. Which means that his coins is you always overinflate coins at the beginning of a draft. I think Thunderdine's good, but in Div 1, 68 coins. I'm not sure about that. What do you think about that team, Roran?
Yeah, I was debating to. I mean, they're gonna be on my bottom for sure. I was debating either 7th or 6th. It's probably gonna be. I mean, should I reveal it or?
Yeah, I mean, just talk. Yeah, I mean, we're just.
I'll probably put them in the 7th place after us. I think Thunderdine is overpaid for sure. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player by any means, but this team needs every team needs one player that's above them. Like, this is the high 5K to 6K bracket, and then you need a player that can either be in the 7K bracket or plays in the 7K bracket. If you look at the other teams, there's Top, there's Crayon. I think Swash Tech. I'm not sure how to say his name properly.
Shastic, yeah. Shastic, yeah.
Some most of the teams have this star player, if you say, and this team really lacks that.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because Scalar is a 4 player, right? And so is Thunderdine. Really, Thunderdine wants to play. Thunderdine is a 4 player, and I think on the sheet,
I think he will be pushed to play core.
Thunderdine put pause 1, 2, 3, and 4 all. So I mean, then he would probably slip into core, and I've seen Thunderdine play mid and do really well with it. But yeah, I think that team suffers from a bit of kind of erratic drafting, and I'm not sure. But in saying that, it could be hard. I think for me, I probably look at Yuma's team in a bit higher regard than this 7 team, and that's not to say that I don't love my boy Thunderdine, and Scalar is actually such a PMA awesome dude. But I don't think that it was well crafted, and there's been a few things that have been going on with that team, but I guess those things could be overcome. It's not like every bad team has had every good team's had their moments, and every bad team's had their good moments. So it just works out. Zakke, 7th.
7th. I would probably say Waterfall's team.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think their players are super strong, compared to all the other players. I think Walu and Omega so play usually do well, but I don't think they're gonna perform as well in a higher MMR. If I may.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I look at that team, and obviously Waterfalls really wanted to play for Omega, and I think that 50 is more from a tax, from a friendship tax, rather than actual drafting, than actual every other team wanting that player. Because if you look at the rest of the coins, technically he is one of the most contested players in the pool.
Yeah.
But I do think Waterfalls is a bit of a star, is like their star player factor in that team, and I think he can pull out the bag. On my sheet, he's going to play 3, I think. and I think that'll be a really good. I don't know. I've got slightly more faith in that team. I think. For me, I mean, it's really again. I'm just gonna say this. I'm in Div 5, and I'm really terrible at Dota, so I really have no place judging. But here we are. I am going. Nah, I'm gonna put Shaztik's team. I'm going with what I wrote down rather than changing it. The reason I'm putting that team 7th ahead of behind others rather. I don't like El Nino is a great player, but I think at this bracket he's going to get a bit choked out. I think he's used to playing quite a fast-paced, greedy pause 3, and I'm not sure that he'll get the space that he really needs to be opened up. And I think Shaztik has not quite proved himself yet. I mean, this MMR is crazy high, and obviously he is crazy good. But in RD2L, I have not seen him prove himself yet. But then this is the kind of thing as well. Like, these players are here to prove themselves. And I think a good part of this team is the Sucker, because I think the Sucker can really make a team work from the way he plays. And really is also a boy, but again he doesn't have that like star player. Even though, actually, sorry, I'm just chatting. I haven't actually seen really play his role in RD2 yet. He's only ever played. I think he's been off role pretty much every time because he's such a high MMR player. They want to shift into a core rather than play him at 4. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure. So that's why that team's 7th. Zakke, click off your thing so I can see what you've written.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm new to Excel.
Oh, that's fine. Roran, do you want to lead us off with your sixth pick?
Well, I think Waterfall's team is the 6th place for me.
Okay.
For sure. Like, Konisolov said it's like the greatest guy ever, but I haven't seen him do much as a player, sadly. And yeah, like Zakke said, this team is just below the rest of the guys. Like, every player, like their matchups, they're gonna be struggling for sure.
I'd say there's a lot of nice people in that team. Crispy Bacon's also an amazing man, amazing human being. Yeah, but I mean, the time I've played against Walu, I've hated it. I think he performs slightly above his MMR. But it'll be interesting to see with that team, because you'll have Omega probably mid, and Walu 1, with Waterfalls 3. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on with those. Zakke, do you want to go for your sixth pick?
I'm still deciding. I think the rest of the team's really good.
Yeah, I know. So I think when you get into top 5 teams maybe, I think it starts to get a bit more grey on where the teams go.
Actually, I disagree with that. Like, my top 2 teams are like
really
right now, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely we'll talk about it when we get there. For me then, I'm probably gonna surely on the unknown. I'm probably gonna put that Yuma team in here. I actually do. I checked out both these guys before, and they look like they play loads. They obviously are very capable at the game. And Kalamu is a really great player. And Roran, I remember you being at the top of the drafting list at some points in your I think this MMR is quite low for you, no?
Yeah, I've like recently I've been losing a lot, but yeah.
Smiley face.
Yeah, feels bad, man.
People don't know, dude. Since the corona, I've been playing, I've been grinding.
Yes.
They just don't know.
Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna do this. I'm putting Waterfall's team in here.
I think you're putting us too high. Like, honestly.
No, I really don't think I mean maybe, but then
Maybe.
surely looking at the players involved, I think there is a really good chance enough for use.
I see your perspective if you're just looking at the players, but
Hmm.
there's always the background story.
Yeah, and I do take stock in what you're saying about how like practice and team coordination and comfortable playing with one another and having clear voices, all those kind of like micro macro stuffs that kind of make the higher level of Dota work will really come into play with this. And if a team is not going to commit to that, then yeah, because I think we'll get onto that. Saki, you got to make a decision about 6.
Yes. I was going to put Yuma's team probably way higher, but just going off of what Roran said, with the attitude, I think it might go bad. So that's why Yuma's team goes 6th.
Yuma, nice.
Yeah. Can I do next also?
Yeah. Of course, please go.
Yeah. So, I think Top is a really good player. However, I played one draft cup with Ensphere, and I think the attitude of Ensphere could be a problem. Also, I don't know how well Denden's gonna perform. So
I mean,
it's,
they won last mini
they did.
as Top, Ensphere, and Den in the same team.
They beat me in finals.
They beat Feels Badman. I think Ensphere, like I think he only responds to a higher MMR player.
Yeah.
I don't think he responds, even if you're 20 MMR below him. Doesn't seem like he'll respond that well to you. But I think Top seem to have a good way with him. I don't know. I think that team's got a lot of potential. Do you know? And Mist is obviously.
Yeah, Mist is very nice.
And Mist is going to give Den a game.
I'm purely going off by one quarantine cup game, and that's why I'm scared by Hemisphere. I think he's a really good player, though, still.
Yeah. Roran?
Oh, I was just about to put Top team here as well, actually.
Oh,
I'm coming from Top playing off position. He's gonna play mid again, most likely, right? Or is he...
Yeah, I can't. Wait a minute. Kubiashi plays offlane. It seems.
So he's playing mid, and in this bracket, I don't think it's gonna work. Even
Really?
if you watch the Wednesday finals, even in that bracket, like people had Top figured out. Just pick aggressive heroes. Don't let them come back from losing mid, because Top actually doesn't win mid that usually, but he knows how to farm. He goes to his jungle and gets his items, then wins games. He doesn't win mid usually against mid players. So Top is gonna get pressured. Then they're gonna rely on Den. Even if Mist gives the space Den needs, then is gonna buy some stupid items, most likely, because he does that. Doesn't matter which division it is. Doesn't matter if it's final games. He's not gonna buy that BKB. He's not gonna buy that needed item, and he's gonna throw the games. So this team is pretty doomed. They're most likely gonna take some games because they're gonna play together against like the teams that are not playing together low. But still, the decisions and actually Top getting focused, so that makes this team like not a top tier team, and it's like in the middle, closer to the bottom.
Interesting. See, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's a shame. What Top's an offlaner, really, isn't he? Does he play? I think he's an offlaner. In his pubs.
Depends. He plays a lot of offlane. He's been a champ player back in the day.
Oh, okay. But in my mind, I look at that team and I see Den who seems to always get farm. And I know he's playing a bit out of his depth in this division, but I do think Top picked him for a reason. and he had a big choice of players for that last pick. And Den Den is the lowest MMR by quite some way, almost 500 maybe. Yeah.
Probably after me. Oh, there's crispy bacon.
There's bacon, yeah. But I think you and Bacon are like sleeper 6Ks really, whereas
Sure.
Den Den is
We can pretend.
yeah. But I do think he was picked for a reason, and I think he can pull the games out of the bag. But in saying that, I'm gonna put Top's team fourth. Yeah, yeah. I think Top playing off role, but I think he's probably learned a lot in playing mid so much with RD2L. And it's undeniable the guy is really good. And every time I've underestimated Ensphere, even though he, as Zakke says, sometimes has a tendency to maybe whine or throw games or just be a bit kind of a downer in general, he does pull it out of the bag. I have been impressed with it. Every time I've seen him actually play, I've been really impressed. So I'll be interested to see if he'll do it. And I think he will. And this team have got that, what you're saying, that synergy that a lot of these other teams have not got. And they will take it seriously. Ensphere will secretly really care. And Den Den will really care, because he's in Div 1. He will care a lot about it. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, top 4 for you two. Let's go. Who wants to get us going?
Roran.
Should I go first? I mean,
yes, off you go.
I'm putting Sash Tech's team on the first place.
Mm.
I have had the pleasure to play with El Nino and lane with him as well last Sunday division. And I don't know if he got better, but back then he was way too scared. Like, he was playing the off lane like the old days where you just sap XP, but you need to actually pressure the carry these days. I've pushed him a bit. I've seen like he can do it, but I still don't trust, and I'll just go from what I've seen most of the time what he does.
Yeah.
So I think this team will lose their off lane most of the time. KK is their other support player, I assume.
Actually, I think it's gonna be Really.
Really?
Yeah, because Really is a 4 player. I think KK's gonna be playing mid.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not so sure anymore, but if
But-
Really plays more, maybe he can micromanage El Nino a bit more. But still, I think these guys are probably the fourth place for me. I mean, Sucker is also a great guy.
Yeah, I hear what you say. I think Shasta, this is probably one good point, is that Really is actually a really aggressive player. He's a German Tom. He's a really good player. He knows the game, and he's like let's just go kill him. Let's go. And he forces that, and I think he will do that with El Nino. And I think El Nino will enjoy that, honestly.
Well, I think now that you say it like that, with Really our playstyle is kind of similar, I guess. But I've been let down by El Nino when I'm diving tier 2s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who knows, dude? Maybe he's just not gonna follow Really, and he Really is gonna die. Perhaps too.
Yeah.
He's a tilter.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna lose games.
Oh no, German Tom is not a tilter. No.
Okay.
No.
But
Very PME.
we'll see. I'm still putting them fourth place.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's definitely a really PME team. That'll be a really nice team. I don't know about KK, but I know I've at least been in conversation with most of these players. Actually, I've never spoken to the Sucker, but about 1 billion people tell me that he's a really nice guy, so I can't really ignore it. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. Zakke.
I'm deciding between Mugen and Shift's team.
What's making it hard to decide?
I think Shift's team is better in the way that they have both Shift and Westside, who are really good players. But I think Mugen's team looks solid overall.
Who's it gonna be?
I'm gonna put the team answers in fourth. Right. Mikael plays greedy. I'm used to playing greedy, and I don't think I can play greedy the same way in this bracket, and I think Mikael might have issues with that.
Mm-hmm. Does
That's why.
how will Corey's playstyle line up with that? Do you think?
I'm not sure.
Because I've seen Corey. I don't know. I think because I've always been a really low MMR in a game with Corey, I've only ever just lost. But every time I'll jump in watching a pub with him and Nanster or whatever, he's always doing quite well, and he seems to follow the meta quite well.
Yeah.
But
Corey plays a lot, so I think
Yeah.
he's gonna do well.
yeah,
But
who's going to call the shots in this team?
Anstar likes the shot call,
Mm-hmm.
so if no one else, I think Anstar will.
Yeah, because Shift will be playing pause 5, I think, and Wes will be
Oh.
1. Is that right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. to
Yeah,
see
shift
five.
yeah, shift 5 on the sheet. Anyway, that might be lacking info on that, but Wes 1. How do you think that's going to pan out?
I think the West one's gonna go really well.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if it's shift West lane, that sounds really strong to me.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the concern will be how does Mikkel not play greedy, and his hero pool is also somewhat limited. Whereas I feel like the rest of this team hero pools are not that limited. Yeah, I think they're a good shout for 4th. We'll go to Roran for 3rd, and then we'll come back to me.
Well, for 3rd place, I'm putting Mugen's team.
Mm-hmm.
Mugen is a great player, don't get me wrong, but this 3rd place, I mean, they're all good players. I would just say this from the start. Like, top 3 is these guys all have a chance to win this division, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
With Neox, I've played some games, but so far we are 0-4. So I'm just gonna throw some shade on his way and put him a bit below above the others. And yeah, I think this team's good, but
Yeah.
the other teams have like Shift's team as these group of players who've been playing together a lot. So I
Yeah.
think they know what to do when they're playing together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll come to that later when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, Megan is 3rd place for me.
Yeah. For me it's a toss up for 2nd and 3rd between these Shift and Mugen teams. Because in Mugen's team, I see a Mugen who got 110 coins in this draft. Mugen has never gotten 110 coins in his life. Even in real life, Mugen, they don't allow Mugen with that much money, honestly. But so he got the players he wanted. And Dota 6K, he is good, and he has not been around, and I think people have forgotten that he is a good player. He might be washed up, but I think he can pull it out of the bag, and his game sense is just really good. Well, a fun fact about Dota, he's played more games of Overthrow than games of Dota, which is somewhat crazy. And Neox is solid, and I think this MMR is maybe lower for Mugen. Maybe I don't think he's been playing as much recently, but I really rate Mugen. I really rate Dota. Really rate Neox. Wu seems scary. I did a bit of scouting for this team the other day, and I just wrote Wu, and then a dash scary, and 42 coins. Yeah, I think that's merited.
Do you remember why it was scary?
Yeah, I do. I actually, one, because on his Dota buff, he's got like no games. It's all tournaments and captains, which makes me think that his profile's private. But apparently he's got loads of experience in a tournament setting, and with being really high MMR, loads of experience in a tournament setting, really high win rates, and a lot of really good heroes, plenty of experience. In my mind, scary. And yeah, so definitely Definitely a team to watch. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me. I think I'm going to put Shift's team here. I want to put them third. I want to put them second. But I think looking at the mid pool, I'm not. I think Anstar's going to have an interesting time.
Yeah, definitely.
He does not put the practice into mid that probably other players do. And whilst Anstar is extremely capable and can run away with games, it's not as it's never been as clear cut. I always think he has like an up and down kind of lane. I think he needs to be the one not calling the shots. I think he needs someone else to call the shots, like Wes or Shift, to call the shots on that team.
Will probably take over.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that team matches up. But Shift is apparently a really PMA dude as well. So, and as you said, the kind of friendship factor of these players all having played together a lot and being friends makes a big difference. Zakke, you had who are you gonna put in for third then?
I was gonna decide between Shift and Mugen is going to be the third. I think, I mean, just looking by MMRs, it's not the most impressive, but I think all of their players are really solid. I think they could do really well.
Yeah. In my mind, I think that will line up as Mugen will play mid, Wu will play 1, Bunnies or Dota will play 2 or 3. I'm not sure about who's going to do what, and Neox will be 5. And I think Neox will be able to give Wu a really good game.
Yeah, Neox really likes giving his carries a good laning stage.
So that'll be good to see. And I think that Bunny's Dota offlane is going to be annoying to deal with, definitely. And now we're into top 2. Who wants to lead us off? Roran, do you want to lead us off?
I mean, mine is pretty obvious. I'm putting Shift.
Yeah, fair.
And if I say a couple of words...
Yeah, please do.
They're great friends. People still think Mikael's washed up for some reason, but he's been playing for a while now.
Yeah.
I think he's back. Like, he can easily crush 6K and go above if he wanted, but he's not grinding, or maybe he's throwing games intentionally so he can get last pick.
Yeah.
And the only question on my mind in this team is Corey. I've played a lot of games with Corey, and he likes to give up and throw his body at enemies. And I don't think he'll be doing it in this team, because he actually will have some faith in his teammates since they're all above him, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think this will make him try harder and play better, hopefully. And like you guys mentioned, Anstar might lose mid, but I think he has Anstar Shift to rely on to come back into the games, because these two they're not losing the safe lane.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And perhaps Vest will pick something active, or Answer is gonna pick something that doesn't need that much farm, like a DP or something. They'll go for push strats, maybe Lycan, something like that.
Yeah, Answer loves his Lycan.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Shift West side lane is probably one of the most scary safe lanes, if that's the case. Well, maybe second most scary safe lane. I'm not sure what about Alita and Yuma, what they play. Yuma, he plays pos 1 and pos 2, so
I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I'll let you know once I know.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely that has one of the potentials of being one of the most scary safe lanes in the pool. And Zakke, you've got Crayon and Shastik's team.
Yes. By the way, I think either Redidas or Saitek are gonna be annoyed by the pronunciation.
How am I meant to say it? Sorry.
Redidas always says Saitek, but
Saitek. Sorry.
I mean, I also call him Sarajevo because it's funny.
Okay. Saitek. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Saitek.
I might be wrong, but I really do have some confidence in Saitek's team. You talked about Saitek not proving himself yet. However, I would like to mention that in the season he played, where he didn't make the playoffs, he did still beat one of the finalist teams. Yes, there was lots of talk about this. Also, I'm pretty confident in my Tom talking and leading his team. That's why I really believe in Cytic's team.
Yeah, and he is really vocal in games, and he does have a really good understanding. And I think the sucker will back that up as well.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I'm looking at my list. No, I'm gonna believe in the players. But yeah, I think that's good. It'll be interesting to see how KK gets on if he's mid, because there's a lot of really good mids.
I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, so that unknown factor will play a part. But I think you're right. Yeah. Okay, and I am going to put Mugen's team here as well. I wish I could put this team first, because I like. Mugen won me a season. I mean, I won him a season. Sorry.
Yes.
When
Clarification.
Of course, yeah, sorry. And Neox is, good, cool, calm, collected, does everything for the team. And I met Dota IRL, and he's so nice and a really good player as well. So if I could play on a team, I'd want to play on this one. But unfortunately, there is one team that people seem to think is a bit OP.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Now, why? Why have we all left it for Crayon's team?
First of all, Zakke, you can't put your own team in the first place, dude.
I know, that's not allowed.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Should I start then?
Yeah, please do.
So, Crayon and Jalit in the same team, and Sasquatch. How did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? What were people doing? I know what my captain was doing, basing his coin on his friend, but there are 6 other captains. Like, someone needed to do something about this. But apparently, this team is like the team killer, and they're probably not going to lose this season. They have Agnitos as well. Agnitos is a great player as long as he's not making the calls. Like, it's awesome to play with him, but once he starts making the calls, they're usually wrong, and it makes you die. But as long as he doesn't make,
I don't think in this team he's going to be taking.
Yes,
he's going to be making the calls.
I don't think so either. That's why I have big faith on him and his lane, and Zakke is there, I guess.
I guess.
But yeah, Zakke is also a really good player in my opinion, even though they lost the finals to us.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got info on this team, but I forgot that I was having someone who was actually in that team. So Crayon will be playing 1 and Gleet will be playing 2, with Satchcoach 3. I think there is a question over 110 ping from Sasquatch. But where I think the strength of this team really came from is Crayon managed to get Sasquatch for 16 coins, which meant that he had a really solid offlaner, and Crayon could play either mid or safe lane, which means that he can spend his coins big time on getting another core player that is going to do the job. I think that Sasquatch for 16 coins set up his entire draft to be really, really strong. And I was really impressed by how he managed to do that. Obviously I'm going to write in Crayon here as well. I think that Gleet, I think that 6.5k MMR is probably is that not a bit low in my, I don't know. But every time I saw him stacking people on my friends list, he was always like top 1000. And if he's getting to play mid over Crayon, who's 500 MMR above him, I think that says quite a lot. Honestly. And Zakke, when he doesn't meme, can be a force to be reckoned with, can't you, Zakke?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. How did you feel getting drafted for 1 coin into this team? Oops.
You know, I didn't get to play with Anstar, but I got into a really strong team.
And what makes it strong? Have you played any games yet?
Yeah, we played the scrim.
How did it go?
It went well. I'm really confident in all of our players. Crayon is really good at carrying. I think my offlaner is really good because I lane with him and I thought it was a lost lane, but somehow he managed to have higher net worth than the enemy carry at minute 10.
Really?
I think Glee is a really good mid and his drafting I like. Also, Agnitas is a really solid 5 that I'm happy we got. However, I've heard he's got some toxic tendencies.
I don't think he's going to be toxic in this team because
Okay.
because Crayon's not Crayon is the most PMA. He is very chill. You're very chill, even though you shout about, but you shout about nothing. You don't shout about you don't actually get mad at the actual game. And Sasquatch, I think I actually watched RD12 final with the American one with him in it, and I seem to remember them speaking really good things about this player. So yeah, I think you're right. I'll put that in for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're okay. What team were you scrimming against?
Waterfalls team.
Waterfalls team. Okay.
Yeah. Pause for anti-mage.
They had a pause for anti-mage.
Yeah.
Did they just early pick it and then back out of it, or do you think they were just memeing?
I think the conclusion that our team drew was they picked it early, but it was 4 decided.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we spent a really good time speaking through a lot of the teams. The only 2 teams that we haven't really spoken much about is Seven Even and Yuma's team. I kind of want to revisit this Seven Even team, just quickly before we move on. This team might not work because of some issues, but there could be some replacements that come into this team, or if actually no, that's wrong to say. My alarm went off. If this team can work it out, they could. I think honestly, it comes down to communication for this team, and I think this group of players could be good, but I think they need to communicate. I think they need to communicate well. I'm not sure what the situation will be by the time we get to the day that this video is actually released.
Just looks like they pressed play a game and solo queued, and this was their stack, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, fair.
I mean,
if they come together, maybe, but I don't think they will.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, sorry, and you go.
I think every team has a chance of winning. It's just I don't really know any of their players. Like I've heard Thunderline's name, but I haven't seen him play too much. And what I heard about play scares me. So I think it's just they're the most likely team to fail.
Yeah, which is, it would honestly be a real shame. A real shame.
Yeah.
If it did. Okay, this next section we talk about overvalued and undervalued players, and I've got 2. You choose 2 preliminary, but we can add more if you want. Would anyone like to start with an overvalued or undervalued player that they think in this draft? Maybe ruling out the last pick, because last pick you normally just spend all your coins, but I guess in this division it did matter. Yeah, what do you guys think? You've got overvalued Den at 18 coins. I want to talk me through that.
Well, in my opinion, he's overvalued if he was even gotten for 1 coin. I think this division is a bit above them, and I feel like I don't belong in this division, in my opinion. And yeah, I think that top kind of valued them then as a friend more than a player. So
Yeah.
pick
Yeah. So even though he's last pick for 18 coins, it's still overvalued because of the players that were still available in the pool. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably fair. Zakke, do you want to give us one?
I mean, maybe it's not the most exciting one, but Omega Saw, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really that worth, but I think it's like, I think it's fine to buy your friend for a lot, but I just don't think it's that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna make your. But then, to be fair, he saw out the draft well, I think. I mean, Waterfalls had 111 coins, so he had a lot to play with. But yeah, I think 50 coins for Omega Saw is quite a lot. For me, Unfortunately, I've got to put my favourite boy, Thunderdyne. I think Thunderdyne's coinage, I think it falls to a couple of reasons. One, because he was the first player, and he's a known name that people want to play with because he's good. He shot calls. He's good at his role. So people bid, and that pumped him up a lot higher than if he'd been a third pick. Like if he'd been nominated 10th or 15th. So I think he is worth a lot of coins, but I don't think he's worth 68 coins. I wouldn't blink an eye if I saw him for 45 or 50 coins, but 68 feels like a lot to me, especially when 7 even did have a lot of coins, but still.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
When Gleet went for 63, I mean, ooh.
Tom.
Yeah. And you could have pushed Crayon. You could have pushed Crayon on that. 7 even hadn't bought anyone. I don't know, yeah. You could have pushed, I think, on that. Okay, let's give it an undervalued player. Who do we think's undervalued in this division?
Should I go first?
Yeah, if you want to.
All right. I think Zakke could have been taxed, or at least
Yeah.
one coin is just a free Zakke free. I think he's a good player.
Wow.
Fits in this division for sure. I'm surprised, honestly, for one coin.
I am shocked that Zakke went for 1 coin. I think Zakke was always going to be... Sorry, it's weird talking about you even though you're in the call, but I think you were always going to be in this division, and going for 1 coin feels way, way too small. Sure. I think you're another sleeper 6k.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to write it in because he's already written it in for me, but yeah, I think 1 coin was a bit of... I think that's why Crayon's drafted, because he got you for 1. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how that went. For me, I'm going to put in Really for 12 coins. I think that is a big undervalued. I think Shastik set up his draft really well. No pun intended. Getting Really for 12 coins, I think that is astonishingly good. And he's going to bring so much to that team for just 12. Really impressed with that. Zakke?
I wanted to put Tom, but it feels boring to put him to.
Well, if you can't find anyone else, you can put him.
I mean, I can. I think Sasquatch is a pretty easy one.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, for a really, for a guy who knows the game really well and has played a lot of RD2L.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that is. But I think people were looking at that 110 ping and being like, oh, not sure about that.
Don't think it matters that much.
Honestly, I've been playing with 110 ping. It's not that bad. You can manage.
Yeah, and I think if you get used to it, it's absolutely fine. I mean, I saw Crayon. He was playing in our servers from Canada, and he was still like top 2,000 or something like that, mid. I have no idea how he managed that. Okay, let's go for another overvalued player.
Zakke, start this one, dude.
Pass.
Yeah, it is hard because a lot of in this section it's quite hard because there's a lot of players who are extremely good.
I'll do it. I'm a bit butthurt as well, but I'll put Alita in.
Yeah, no, I was going to put that in as well.
Too late. So it's obvious, like he just spent all of his coins to get his friend, which is whatever. But I'm in the team, and the last 3 players are basically randomed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a bit too much. I'm sure he got taxed as well, but maybe he should have hit it better. That is his friend, and he's gonna spend every coin for it. But 69 coins, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, Yuma, I have not seen his name in a drafting circumstance before, and maybe he doesn't know how these drafts work, but that kind of thing is not good.
I was watching the draft and I thought he just picked 1 player and went AFK because he first picked Alita.
Yeah.
And basically he didn't get a player until everyone had 5 players.
Yeah. And that's 85% of his coins, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, of course, the community had to stop on 69 coins. I think Alita is his girlfriend or something as well. So that's I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. That's unfair to comment. I don't know about that. Um, I'm gonna. Oh. Again, it's really hard because like all of these players are extremely good, but you got to look at it in the context of the whole. So like Mist for 40 coins, right?
I think
I don't know. I actually think I don't know. I can't. It feels unfair to comment because I think Mist is actually worth it, those 40 coins. Maybe I'll put undervalued Corey at 8 coins. Because I feel like that's really low for potentially a really good player.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 coins. No, I'm definitely putting 9. Any other thoughts on this section before we move on? You don't have to. Again, it's hard to say because
I think every other player is pretty much got what they're worth. So
yeah. Yeah.
I think I decided player. So I put a Cytex team really high, and I just might be lacking info, but I would say KK for 35 compared to Anstar and Waloo is a bit much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you look at you look at the other players around that one, like Dota for 30, Anstar for 40, Wooly 31, Ensphere 28 even.
Yeah. Cytec might know the guy and he might be better than his MMR, but if he isn't, then...
I
Yeah.
agree on that as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to talk about top performer. This is who in the division. We're going to go through each team. I've given us a color in the middle here, and we're going to pick from each team who is going to be the star performer, and then we're going to narrow it down, and we're each going to choose one who we think is going to be the star performer.
Okay.
So we'll go through the team. So in Yuma's team, I think it kind of at this point it actually has to be Yuma for me, because if you draft like that and then you don't perform, oh sorry, that's Roran's card. If you draft like that and then don't perform, I think you're missing a trick.
I agree on that one. This is Yuma for me as well. He better fucking perform, or I'm coming for him.
Zakke?
I mean, I have the same thing. I think if you're 7.5k, you're kind of griefing if you're not carrying your team.
Yeah, it's true. Tops team. Who do you think the top performer is going to be in this team?
I think top will get shut down and Mist is gonna do more. By securing Dennis farm, perhaps. I don't know. Like, Mist is gonna perform a lot as a support player. That's like the only way they can win, I think. That's my opinion, at least. Like, they're gonna pick him Wyvern or something. He's gonna do some godlike ults, carry his team.
Zakke?
How do you do color things?
You can just copy your. There's like a little I'll do it. You choose. I'll do it for you.
Nice. It looks funny. I mean, for similar reasons to Yuma's team, I mean, I think top has to perform. I don't think they win if it doesn't.
Yeah. What color did I choose for you? Nice. Yeah, that's fair. On Crayon's team, jeez. For me, there's like 2.
Yeah. 2 obvious ones.
I think you've got to put Crayon and you've got to put Glee.
Yeah. I would have said Glee.
You would have said Glee. I'll change it. I'm going to say my boy Crayon. My best boy. Do you agree with that, Zakke, on playing with that team?
Can I put myself Smiley?
Yeah, of course.
If I would be serious, I would put Crayon.
Yeah.
The games we played with him, he was pretty good at carrying.
Yeah, he loves farming.
Yep.
And he's good at it. Like, he plays mid, but he plays such a greedy mid. In my experience. I think from talking about Shastik's team, we've kind of talked a lot about Really, and I think that for me is going to be the one. Anyone got any other thoughts on that one?
Sashtek needs to still.
Oh yeah, Cytec. Sorry. Yeah.
Sashtek.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. Like he needs to. Yeah, he has to prove himself.
I'm just
Prove
gonna keep
himself.
repeating myself. Cytec has to perform or they
Cytec.
lose.
Yeah. Shift team. Top performer.
Oh.
Are we guessing who is the top? Who's gonna perform top, or who needs to be the?
Who do you think in this league is gonna?
Okay.
Yeah,
I have the right idea.
It's not about who needs to. Who is going to?
I think I'll put Amstar, honestly. He's gonna surprise
Amstar?
everybody. Yeah, dude.
Wow. Clarify.
Zakke?
I don't know either Shift or West Side, and I'm not confident in saying Anstar's gonna top perform. So Shift has a bit of more MMR points, so you know
He gets
it's simple.
It's fine. For me, it's gonna be Wes. I've rarely seen Wes have a bad game.
Oh, you're about to see a lot of them. I
Oh,
think.
right. Actually, if Shift is playing post 5, then it's. I mean, I don't know.
We'll see. For me, there's only one player in this team. No joke.
Yeah, probably. I agree on that one.
I've seen Mugen. Yeah, I think if he plays, he can be one of the top players. There is a shout for Dota in this team, but I think Mugen's a star. I think you put it on his back.
Yeah. And I want to say Neox, but I guess Mugen.
You can say Neox.
I'm not that confident though in the Neox.
No, fine. I'll put it.
Okay.
The Waterfalls team. Who do you think the top performer of this team is going to be?
Can I put all of them? Honestly, they're gonna play as 5 lead. They're gonna be one being together. That's how they're gonna win.
Wow.
Boom. That's a good way to think. That's a good way to think about it. Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's how they need to. That's how they need to win this division. And lastly, 7 Evens team. Oh, sorry, Zach, I didn't ask you about this team.
You can ask to remove someone.
Remove someone?
Take him out.
Can I pass?
Zakke passes. Yes, Zakke passes.
Thank
In this, I would have picked Waterfalls. And this last team.
Honestly, probably Thunderline, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say. I think Scalar's got a good shot as well. I think he's a real boy. He'll pull it together. So I believe. Zakke?
I'm gonna say 7.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, now we have to decide who is we have to pick one player. You have to pick one player who is going to be the star of the season.
I'm gonna go back and I'll just say Yuma, honestly. I'll
Really?
put my faith in him.
Oh, that's nice. Yuma.
I'll put my faith in him. Like,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
if you're gonna win, that's gonna be the reason. Like,
Yeah.
he's fucking destroying everyone.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I mean, you don't get 7.5k from nothing.
Yeah, and he has his friend to back him up. So
Yeah. Zakke, are you ready to answer?
Yeah. Can I type?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know that much about this
You have
guy,
to
but
you have to
looking
click
at
it.
his
You have to click
Dota
off. You have to click off so I can see it.
buff- Yes, looking at his
Oh!
Dota buff, it's really big.
Are you gonna keep it? Yeah.
Yes.
how can you ask that, dude? How can you ask that?
Sorry. See, this is why I'm not a 6k player. It's because I don't believe. So, no, there's many other reasons. I am going to put. It's a hard toss up for me between Crayon and Mugen. Well, actually, there's so many good players in this division, but I think like a few players have that like star star value, and I think Mugen and Crayon have that. I'm going to put my boy Mugen. I believe. And I've seen him week by week carry my ass and seen what he can do, so very impressed. Very cool. We'll see how it goes at the end of the season. Okay, and in this last section, what we do is we rate the team's coin usage. How well did they spend their coins throughout the draft?
Oh.
So, for example, Yuma would probably get a solid 1 out of 10 for me.
I give it 0.
Wow.
Do you have anything to say about Zakke? I can put it 0.
I have a little bit of faith, and I would put them for.
Oh.
But this is not about fate. This is about how he wastes his coins on one pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's really that bad. Like if he has managed to boost her to 6.6, like isn't that like the MMR value they have together then?
So you're claiming his friend is boosted.
I'm saying even if they are boosted. No.
Okay.
And actually, in that undervalued bit, you could probably put Calamu. I'm sorry, Calamu is a really good, really solid offlaner, and for 6 coins, that's nothing. Yep, top. What do you think?
Should we take the average then out of our three picks?
Yeah, that's probably a better idea. So I had 1. I'll get my damn calculator, buddy.
It's 1.6.
1.6. Nice. Some smarter people could do an average thing here, but I'm not going to do it because I can't bother. Right, top. What do we think about Top's team? I would have given that a. I'm going to give that a 5. I think that much on a support player, you'd kind of want Mist to then be paired with a really strong carry, if you're paying that much for him. Except he's going to have to carry down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think End Sphere for 28 and Kubashi for 3 is really good.
Okay.
I would put them as 4 too.
Do you have those 4, Ruin?
I have it for you.
Oh, 4, sorry.
Should I do it again?
Yeah.
It's 3 point.
Big brain.
It's a 4, but whatever.
Yeah. No, it's not 3 point.
It was 4 point. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No, that can't be right. We don't have a 3 on us.
Hold
Oh,
up.
It can't
okay.
be.
I can't add apparently, dude. Never mind.
It can't be 3. Crayon.
10.
For me, 10. Sorry. Like, there is no way.
I'm fixing that. But go next.
Do you give that one a 10? Crayons.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's him. The other players doing bad. I'm just gonna remove 1 point from every other captain for giving him like this. But yeah, he probably is a 10.
Yeah, but I think as I said right at the beginning, Sasquatch for 16 sets up his draft so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got a really solid offlaner. There's loads of good pos 5s and pos 4s in the pool. So regardless of I think that really opened that up for him. Shastic, I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10 for his draft, honestly.
Really?
Yep. I think he distributed his coins really well throughout the draft. 12 for really sets his draft up really well. And then he got the players that he needed for the coins that he had, and then he had some coins left to snap up a good pos 3. I think it's good.
I think he could have gotten El Nino for a lot cheaper, so I'm gonna cut some points for that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think it's good.
What are you giving it?
Probably an 8 for me.
8. And Zakke?
9.
9.
For
Right, Rowan,
singing
here's the
as
maths.
well.
9 plus 9 plus 8 equals 26 divided by 3. 8.6. Okay, Shift. How do you think Shift got on with his coins?
Oh, he got his friends.
Mm.
Probably another 8 for me.
Mm-hmm.
For Corey, just 8 coins. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And he got 2 good players as well.
Yeah, I think for me that's a 9 as well. I think that's a 9.
I'm gonna say 7.
7. Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I think Scitek and Korean team are better,
Mm-hmm.
and I think different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like 40 coins for Wes is really good, but 40 coins for Anstars maybe. But again, that left him with Shift had 104, so that left him with 24 coins to do what he wanted with. And getting Corey for 8 is really good. Yeah, I think that's high for me. You want to do this one, Ron?
I think that one's pretty easy. I think you got that one.
No, I don't.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, Mugen. How do you think Mugen spent his coins?
I think he also did pretty well, honestly.
Yeah. I give him a 9.
That's another 8 for me. By the way, I would have given these players 9 as well, but like I said, I'm dropping 1 points from often.
For letting Gleek through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Zakke?
I rate Mugen and Shift the same, so they get 7 too.
That's fine. For me, how he's got Neox for 23, it's a really solid pos 5. Dota for 30. Again, like, he's not overspending, I feel. He maybe 42 for Woos, maybe high, but I feel like he hasn't overspent, and I feel like he's still got the players that he wanted, even though he's spent the coins. What would the mass be on that one again, Ron? I joke. Right, waterfalls. Zakke, what do you think?
1.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad as well.
What do you think?
I'll give him a 3. It's not as bad as our draft.
I think I'm going to give it a 3 as well. No, I'm going to give it a 4. I somewhat believe that Walu is a sleeper 6k. I think Waterfalls is extremely good. I think Crispy Bacon has been 6k in his life, I think. I think that team's got potential. What's the answer going to be? Nice. And then 7 even. What do you think?
Zakke?
1.
I think he gets a
Actually-
2 for me.
Can I change to 2 actually?
No, of course.
I have to change actually my ratings.
Really?
Yeah, I probably Waterfalls team. I think they're probably worse than 7.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah. I see potential in 7's team. I don't see the same potential in Waterfalls. So that's why.
I don't think they're great.
Click off.
I don't know about last place.
I don't think they're strong enough.
For me, unfortunately, he gets a 1 just because he's overbid on Thunderdine. Yeah. Okay. And this is a special segment for Div 1, if you've still made it to this far in the video, where we're going to scroll down a bit and we're going to match up the captain's statements. So, the first one. Draft went how I wanted it to go. I spent a lot of coins to get the best supports because I knew I wouldn't be spending coins on my core anyway, since is a first timer in Mini and is low MMR. I also think squad is very comparable to my squad last season, and that was an easy win. Who do we think that is?
It's a pretty easy one, I think.
Yep, it is. Say it.
I'll let Zakke say it. I know the answer.
Yes.
Top.
Yes, it is top. Top one last season. Well done. It's top. Well done. Right, this one is just a link.
I guess I click it.
You click it, and that is all that player sent me.
Maybe
He sent me a string of those.
sounds like waterfalls, honestly. I may be wrong.
You are correct. It was Waterfalls who sent me that. Okay, third one. Heyo, honestly, it went pretty smooth and it was a lot of fun for me. I had 3 different guys helping me before the draft, giving me a rundown of all the players so I'd know who I'd wanted to draft for my team. I learned that what a friend tax was and abused it as much as I could. 10 out of 10 experience, would draft again.
I think I know who it is.
Who? Say it.
I would guess 7.
It was. Well done.
I was sitting with 7, and I think Anstar and we talked about draft.
Cheating?
Sorry.
Inside knowledge?
That's fine. Okay, the draft went almost ideally for me. I got the players I think are really good for all positions. However, I think it could have been a bit better, but some of the players I wanted were really overpriced, like Thunderdyne. My boys all seem really nice so far, and I've pretty much relegated my captain duties to someone XD. Who do you think this is?
Swashstick, maybe?
Is that okay?
Mugen.
You are correct. It is Mugen.
No.
Mugen is delegating his captain duties to Neox.
You know, I don't want to flex, but Roran got it wrong and I got it right. By that.
You're about even then. Okay, someone save my ass. Will be a nice and fun season now.
No.
Any idea whose statement that was?
Shit.
Say it.
Yes.
I only got from these 4. I only got it from these 6. I didn't get it from the other
I
2.
think you should have added another random one.
Yeah, I know, just to throw it off.
Yeah.
Who's this, Roran?
Oh, I'm not sure, dude. Honestly.
Really? Well, who? Well, okay, I'll tell you. It's Crayon.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because Harb drafted for Crayon.
So,
Yeah.
oh, I see. I wasn't
Harb
thinking-
saved his ass, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, let me
And
guess
then
the last one.
last that leaves Cytic. Oops. Now I'll read it out. Well, I've only been in main season plus some of the quarantine drafts, and I've been a bit subject to being overpaid. So I tried not to do that, as it ruins a team. In hindsight, that wouldn't have mattered since there's a crap ton of players here that are skills. So probably should have went with someone and secured him, so that someone doesn't. Which makes his team really effing strong right now. Apart from that, so that was. Which should have went with Gleet and secured him so that Crayon doesn't. My brother failed to make me up in time, so I missed a chance to battle for. Missed. Apart from those 2, it went nice. Got Really and got El Nino, which I really wanted.
Interesting.
And that was the player statements. And that is the end of our deep dive. That is Div 1, which is happening tonight, as are all games. Keep your eyes peeled for some content coming your way. After all games are done, it'll be coming out in the couple of days after the games are done. Thank you very much to both of you for coming and joining me. That was a long.
Thanks
That was a
for
long.
having us.
It was good, and it'll be really interesting. We might revisit this at the end, maybe with the winner, the captain who won,
That'd be fun.
plus you two. To see how it all played out. But yeah, thank you very much, and thank you very much for listening, everyone, and we'll all see you tonight at game day.